Happ might as well wear a sandwich board when he takes the mound. Today's special, Southpaw starter, 9-game winner for 2018, 3.56 ERA and whip of 1.03. First pitcher in the majors this season to pick up 4 starts with at least 8 strikeouts and 0 walks. Unbeaten in his last 7 outings, with a 2.35 ERA over that span. Happ continued to audition for what looks like a second-half job away from Toronto, pitching into the 9th inning Wednesday for his 9th win of the season. Rick Madenick, Toronto Star: every time the lanky and laconic lefty gets on the hill, he's basically auditioning for covetous clubs in search of a rotation boost through the post-trade deadline, July 31st, season in the playoffs. While Seattle and the New York Yankees have been most often mentioned as interested in the pending free agents' pitching wares, there are at least 10 teams out there playing at above .500 that can seriously use a starter to push them into postseason contention. And you know what else? Happ brings a calming effect to the proceedings, a reliability spawned from basically a one-pitch strength, fastball control. There was lovely, vociferous ovation from a larger-than-normal, this-year crowd at the Rogers Center on Wednesday when Happ departed the fray, 2 outs from what would have been his first complete game in 8 years. The Blue Jays haven't had one of those since Marcus Stroman accomplished the feat on April 23, 2017. Article continued. Bella was in a 5-4 win over the Braves. Happ became the first Toronto starter to work into the 9th inning in 2018, throwing a season-high 113 pitches and hardly breaking a sweat. Read more. Kendrys Morales helps Jays defeat Atlanta Braves. Sights all fun and big league games as Canadian Mike Soroka returns to Toronto. Blue Jays sign 5 players, including second-round pick Griffin Conine. I wanted it, Happ admitted of the increasingly rare 9-inning achievement. Manager John Gibbons hoped to give it to him, until Happ surrendered a couple of singles with 1 out and suddenly the tying run was at the plate. Article continued. Bell also out-trudged the skipper, motioning in closer presumptive Ryan Tepera. Because it's only June and wins still matter, albeit requiring a suspension of disbelief. A split with Atlanta before the Jays headed out to LA mattered. Happ was asked afterward if he even considered resisting the yank, maybe pleading his case. Yeah, if I thought it would have done any good at that point. I think Gibbons knew where I was at. He let me have the 2 hitters there for the matchup. He was in the middle of the order, with Kurt Suzuki on deck. Suzuki had taken Happ yard in the 2nd frame. I had my chance and it just didn't fall our way, Happ said. Gibbons had certainly been tempted. I thought about it. He was starting to fatigue a little bit, I'm sure. But just another tremendous job by Happer. Happ made only 2 mistakes on a shiny afternoon, that first pitch fastball which Suzuki deposited in the Blue Jays bullpen and another in the 3rd frame that Peter Bortas, the 9th-hole hitter, drove over the left field wall, knotting the score 2-2. Otherwise, Happ held Atlanta to 6 hits with 8 strikeouts, using an effective changeup that balanced out his precision fastball. That last brace of hits, however, cost Happ a quality start, less than 3 runs, though he's probably happier with a 9th W. Kind of shows you how hard it is, Happ said. They were able to flare a couple of balls in and then a couple of balls through the infield. That's how hard it can be at times. But overall it was a good day. We got the win and we moving on, as an out of Toronto threads, looks inevitable for the 35-year-old. Deja vu all over again for a guy who's been traded 4 times before. 3 of those trades occurred in July. I certainly enjoy pitching here and having an outing and a response from the crowd like I did today. That was nice, Happ said. I signed to play here and try to help this team get to the playoffs, and that's still my goal. That's what I want to do. Until somebody tells me different, I'm going to have fun doing that. But he can read the writing on the wall as well as anybody. I think I'm a little bit more prepared mentally now, after having been through it a few times. First time I was really emotional. Then you kind of get used to it and realize that it's part of the business. The first time was by the Phillies, the club that had drafted him out of university. An inquisitor wondered aloud what an emotional Happ looks like, given his tranquil nature. I don't know. At that time I broke down. It was the only place I knew and all that stuff. But I think, just understanding a little bit more now, how the game works, it's not a personal thing always. I know there may be rumors out there, but I really like it here and my focus is here. The irony is that the better Happ performs, the more likely that he'll be gone. I know he's in demand and I can understand why. Gibbons said. If we were on the other end of it, I'd want him to. That's a reality of the business. I'm sure he's top of the list out there of guys who could be acquired. I try not to look at those kinds of things. All I know is he's done a lot for this organization. 20 wins a couple of years ago. He could do it again this year. He's one of those guys, it's a pleasure to be around. He's a treat, he made it sound like a requiem. As it turned out Wednesday, Tepera put the outcome in further jeopardy, allowing 2 runs to score before slamming shut the door by inducing a weak fly ball out of Johan Camargo. Happ did a great job today, Tepera said. I wanted to see him finish it, honestly, wanted to get him out right then and there and not let any of the runs score. He deserves a better line, it's just unfortunate. I wish we could have got it done quicker and not made it so interesting. Toronto took an early lead with a thumping 2-run shot into the left field deck by Kendrys Morales, the 4th birthday home run of his career. Baseball has too many stupid stats. I always try to be aggressive, birthday or not. Of note, Randall Grichuk's RBI double in the 4th made it 18 hits over his last 14 games, 10 of which have gone for extra bases. Further factoid: why note, Russell Martin walked for the 8th straight game, the longest active streak in the majors. Most impressive was his headfirst slide across the plate on a sac fly by Aledmys Diaz, making it 4-2 Toronto. He looked like a human rototiller burrowing through the dirt. Rosie DiMano is a columnist based in Toronto covering sports and current affairs. Follow her on Twitter, @Rodimano.